they do a lot of them at like 18 months.
18 months, okay.
Yeah, I mean, they keep getting bigger.
You got a knife? I can stick in here and pop this little piece out.
Little piece.
See this little, slide it right between here and there, just turn it, pop it. You can get here with a gut hook.
Yeah, but I hate that.
Well, see if you slide here flat, and turn it,
It
pop
won't
it. That'll work.
What are you doing today, Jason?
We're butchering a cow and having all kinds of fun so far.
How old did you say she was?
She's about a year old.
And we did a weight on her. She weighed 857. Is that what we came up with?
Yeah,
I think.
better than 557. What's
Yeah.
this?
Well, that is a whole lot easier than a hog, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you generally do with the hide?
You can have it if you want it. I mean, you can tan it.
I'm yeah, brain tanning. I know people have done that. I want a cow skin. I go to flea market, they sell them there.
Got the time for that.
My cousin, the last one we killed, my cousin still got the hide, and she still hadn't done nothing with it.
Takes time and patience to go through, can it?
Okay, what are you trying not to cut?
That's essentially like your
That's what's
Achilles.
holding it on the
Yeah.
hook. Okay.
Yeah.
That's like your Achilles tendon.
If you cut it, then it just makes.
And we know from experience when you cut that, it's not a good thing.
Oh, and then it's hanging on one leg.
Oh, it completely falls off.
Yeah.
One leg won't hold it.
Oh. Learned that the hard way, did you?
Yeah,
We got video proof. Too.
yeah. Well, right before it hit the ground, I said, Jason, I think I cut the wrong, and it went crashing through the ground.
And then we're grabbing paracord and everything else to.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Yeah, well, you know,
Live and learn.
do what you got to do. That was on a cow or pig.
A pig.
Yeah.
Thank goodness it was a pig.
Butchering chickens.
Uh-oh.
There you go. Oh, we actually went out looking to a. There you go. Oh, that'll work. Thank you. We went out to one of those
Urgent care.
urgent care. Oh, we don't do stitches.
Yeah, yeah.
Ended up at the hospital, and there's like 50 people in line. All right, this other part, I wonder. She went home and did it herself.
Oh, wow.
Just don't get down in the cavity yet.
I guess I'm not in the cavity.
No, you'll know when you hit that cavity.
Yeah.
Get your nose right up there on it. It just helps pull.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying, boss.
Yeah, just make sure you stay out of that cavity, Mike, and don't bust it open yet.
Sharp as I thought it would be, but it's...
You still got it. What you want to do is zip tie it so nothing comes out.
Yeah,
so when you're dropping it through,
It's just not dragging shit piss all the way straight
Yep.
through it.
Hey, Lawrence, come right over here and hold
Sure
that,
enough.
please.
Lawrence has got a handful of cow butt. It's a party now.
This thing's falling in. Hey, Shelly.
Yeah.
I mean, it just, you see how it just glides off.
Yep.
All you have to do is go in there and cut that membrane. It's not like skinning a hog where you gotta watch out for the back fat. Much easier than skinning a
It
hog.
just, the weight itself just peels it down.
It just helps it.
Yep.
And it's just, like, see that little bitty piece right here? That's really all you're cutting, like that little.
Mhm.
That's all that you're cutting. That's the cool thing about it. Shelly, I think this skins out faster than a pig.
Oh
I
yeah,
believe so.
even though it's bigger.
So, one thing to remember when you're homesteading, everybody that you see here, none of us have processed a cow. And Jason's only processed a cow once. So, just like Billy says, if it weighs, it pays. Get it done. It's good to go to classes and learn how to do things like this, but it's also good to get some hands-on experience just doing it.
Scale.
All right, so now we're getting ready to split the belly
I had never done chicken.
and eviscerate the
When
cow.
we were new on the property.
Yeah.
And knew all this, and she hopped right in with a knife and, okay, there you go. Yeah. I was afraid how that was gonna turn out. It worked out well. You coming straight down the middle
Yeah,
or just one side? Okay.
just straight down the middle.
Straight down the middle, gut it, then cut it on the vaginal plane.
Shut up, Randy. Jeez.
She's gonna bleep that out and say sagittal. She'll do that in her voice. With you saying it.
Cut it, vaginal plane.
You're an idiot.
Mike, will you hand me, take that and hand me that cleaver and hammer. Hey, Brian, there's the pelvic bone. And what I've done is cut through the meat right there.
Okay.
And then some guys will take a sawzall or a meat saw and do it, but you got to watch because right on the other side of that is your intestine and everything.
Oh, that, yeah.
I just take a meat cleaver and lay on that bone and then just tap through. And it cuts it just. It's a little bit worse.
Parking's gonna bind.
Well, it's about 3 times as big,
Yeah.
too.
Hope she edited some of the talking stuff we do.
Huh?
Hope she edited some of the talking stuff we do.
He doesn't edit video at all. He throws it all up there and makes a video out of it. So if you're saying it, it's gonna be in there.
Randy, what you got back there, buddy? I can see a little bit of daylight. I'm down through a bunch of it. I just don't want to hit that. Hey, I want to hit just real quick, Randy. Watch yourself.
Are you okay?
I'm wiggling.
I thought he fell over or something.
No, full of water.
Get your little spinner.
Yeah, those cuts like
Tub.
those are all the guts.
Cut this open, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Think they cut it sideways? That's probably the brisket area.
How about
Smells good. You know a different mic for that?
Where he split
A splitter, a log splitter, and a tiller.
Are you doing anything the first weekend in April?
a plate carrier and plates. I guess I should have said something about that up front. I'm half deaf. I only hear good from one side. Too much gunplay when I was a kid.
Yeah.
We shot all the time. I shot competitively. We didn't use ear protection.
Yeah.
I'm paying for it today. Well, not me, everybody else is, because they get to repeat everything.
What's it looking like, fellas?
Not much. Look like an innards.
I'm trying to figure out how to dislodge, like where the butthole's at and all that stuff.
Well, we know where that's at.
Why don't you act 5?
The one filming?
Hee hee, butthole.
You know how you're gonna keep that in there. You're gonna keep that in there.
Every job needs a supervisor.
Now here's a, you can see right through here if you want to, on this side.
Let's get in there and grab a hold of it like you own it.
I don't want to put the rips up, you know what, dude?
Don't, let's not do that.
Huh?
He was nothing.
Trying to behave.
So is this big bag here, is that where all 4 of the stomachs are at?
Hold on, Jason.
Huh?
Hang on a second.
Because on a pig, everything's out separate, like people.
My hands are out of the way, Randy. And I told your wife that she could come out of timeout. And since you put her in timeout, she's sitting in the car.
Yeah, right. It works that way. Sure. Bet you it works that way around here too, right?
I get put in timeout.
Yeah, okay.
Either that or I just self-induced timeout. I just go to the shop when all hell's breaking loose.
That's the best thing to do.
So I gotta go sweep the shop,
I'm
honey.
going to go work at the shop for a while. Ever heard that one once or twice?
Oh yeah.
Like the floor
But
needs
right
to be-
now, that's where the big project is, so.
Take a walk in the woods.
Hey, will you text Whitney and see if she'll pick me up some Clutchtown root beer?
Yeah, I'll text her in a minute.
They have that out there.
Let me get done playing with the ass and all.
They have them in 4-packs. If you get me a 4-pack, I appreciate it.
You want to ice it down for you too?
I'll take it home and drink it. That's the best root beer like ever.
I can see where you're still hooked up here somewhere, Andy.
Right here.
I think I saw your finger. Keep your finger out of the way for a minute.
Move your hand, Randy.
Over a little bit further to the.
Here?
No. Okay, you see my finger?
Kinda. Can I smell it?
Right underneath. Right.
Oh, there it is. Oh, you felt it.
Yeah, his finger's inside the cow.
Back at it.
I don't want to push down and come up. Is your hand out of the way?
You gotta go deeper. That's what she said.
I'm videoing, guys.
Oh, okay, hang on there.
Somebody beat me to that one.
Right here. Right here.
Yep. See, I ought to start falling.
So how long did it take y'all to get here?
Okay, over on this side.
How long did it take y'all to get here?
Just right at 2 hours.
Real 2 hours?
Set the cruise at about 75 and just let it roll. Yeah, we're just south of Somerset, so not bad. Hey,
You get it?
You need this knife, Randy?
There we go. You can see there where he zip tied behind in, so none of the stuff would come out, hopefully.
oh, the rest of you guys a lot local, more local.
Go out to the end of my road.
You guys from this general area?
Stoplight.
We live in Edmonton. We're halfway between you and him.
Okay, I don't know where Edmonton is, so.
If you came out the parkway
Yeah.
to get here, you came past
Right.
through Edmonton. It's on the other side of Columbia.
Okay, you know where Columbia is.
We're the next exit after Columbia
Okay.
when you're moving west.
drink it quick.
We haven't traveled around much.
Y'all gonna be able to hold that?
I'm gonna try. There's probably some meat hooks that might help it. It'll stick in there.
You know what? Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I got him.
There's nothing to hold on to.
No.
Just sink them in there.
Yeah.
The boys in there make it look easy.
Yeah, they do. Of course they do it.
Yeah, that's like that what they do for a living.
Yeah. It's like how they.
And they're super strong.
I get it right there.
Y'all got beards. I think you can
Sink
handle
it right
this.
in between that.
Here?
Yeah.
I get up there and just. Yeah.
We'll call this the bearded hillbillies. We're just getting it done.
Punch in the saw.
She getting ready to come.
Yeah.
Y'all good?
Hope so.
Yep. Perfect.
All right.
We got it right next to doing it.
No, this is just about perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Y'all good?
Yeah. You okay?
All right.
Yeah, I just don't want to throw the guts on the floor. Ah, it's fine.
No, we're used to having guts on the floor. So there's the front shoulder, I believe, is the chuck. I think.
You want me over here?
Put your hook on this side. Yeah, then that way, 'cause I'm on opposite. That way, we're both that way. They might want to flip.
There you go. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Keep me
See if if we're both in the same way, it could just want to roll.
Nope.
Maybe. I don't know if it will or not.
No, this is gonna be fine. It's just gonna hang from this hook. And yours.
As long as I don't rip or something.
Well, you know, if it rips through that rib bone, it deserves it.
I got it.
Yep, we're good. Step.
Orange, you want to ice it down?
I'm gonna get some equipment.
Well, really, you're supposed to go, so see, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then really,
Here above the 13th.
yeah, because they got 13 Rios.
Okay.
So essentially what you do is you come in and cut and follow that Rio
Okay.
and cut through there.
Okay. Now, same thing here. You're gonna cut almost to the edge so it doesn't drop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, YouTube went off.
Maybe that's the reason I don't like to eat ribs.
Oh, ribs are good.
Too much work.
Randy,
not
you got
enough meat.
that going?
They're eating part good.
Yeah, just about.
That's why I don't eat deer ribs.
Randy, it's setting up our second shelf. It's got another loin in it if you want to stick it in there. There you go. Or if you want to take on those in a minute, and the easiest way, we'll just debone these and we'll make it done. And then just take it down. But leave when you do it, slide down, leave that top part. Did you see how I did that? You got a handhold.
Where's your mallet?
You can cut those bones that way.
That's the green.
Where's your big daddy at?
That bag behind you.
What are you looking for?
Now, what's the idea here? We're cutting the meat up between the ribs.
Yeah, we're just gonna use it for
You're
grind.
gonna use that for
Yeah.
grind, okay?
Is that working, Shelley?
Yep.
Now, do you have will you do beef stock, the bones and stuff, bone
Probably-
broth, whatever you
Probably
want to
not.
call it?
I got a ton of it right now,
Okay,
so I probably won't.
just curious.
The last one we did, we put the beef broth and we canned it.
Yeah, I've got a bunch
That way
right now.
it'll last on the shelf forever. Once it's pressure canned.
Well, I was wondering if you did that with your chickens. Well, them chickens you're getting at Sam's Club.
I ain't got time to do a lot of it. That's a bad thing. I run out of time to do stuff.
I have no idea what you mean with time,
Oops, I stole your knife.
and I don't have a job on top of it, and I still don't have time.
You're just doing it wrong.
I'm
Have to
doing
get-
it wrong.
Get up earlier. Bert, if we just pull some of that silver skin off.
Yeah, that's
and then
what I
we'll
was,
just- We'll just use it as grind.
I just figured I'd just try to get this skin
And
off.
Randy, I'm glad I'm not going home with her.
Just take the frustration out today.
Why is that not breaking?
It's not hitting it hard enough.
Apparently.
Hit it with your purse.
Oh, I did it. There it goes. That's, yeah.
She's tenderizing it for you as she's doing it.
That's no joke. I've jerked this thing everywhere. Not scaring you?
Nope, just watching.
You're feeling
Shelly, is it working?
Yeah, it's working. It's better than that.
Alright.
Let's just take a minute. I keep hitting my knuckles on the other bones. Sugar.
We're not laughing at you.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no, we're laughing at her.
I'm
Don't
gonna go
okay.
get mine. It's bigger.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. You can take yours.
You going after a bigger hammer?
I don't think so.
After you tore mine up.
What do you think, Jenny? What
I didn't tear yours up.
All right, well, this should be good enough to grind, right?
I would assume.
Because that's not, this, that's more of the fat.
That's working like a real good.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess so.
Good night.
Hey, good morning, guys. It's Jason with Kentucky Sustainable Living. It's Sunday morning. I'm down here at the shop getting ready to cut steaks and probably do some grind if I get a chance on the beef we did yesterday. I've still got the New York strips to cut, the tenderloin to cut into steaks, and then the ribeyes to cut into steaks. Yesterday, we butchered a cow. Live weight on that cow was 853. I don't have any weights of finished product yet because everything's not done. Yesterday, we spent the bulk of the day skinning, gutting, and doing cuts on that beef. We got everything deboned. We've got a lot of stew meat that we've already cubed up. All our grind is in several totes or trays. It's still got to be ground. We cut some of the steaks, like your flank steaks, your sirloins, we went ahead and cut those. Like I said, we cut the stew meat. Your skirt steaks have been cut and ready to package, so I'm probably gonna package those. We'll just see how much time I've got, and I'll kind of show you some of the steps that we'll do on this. All right, guys, here's a quick shot of the cooler. This is pretty much all the beef. There's a couple buffet trays that I had to put in a refrigerator in the house. It's all just trim that we're gonna do for grind, and it's setting up at the house. But this is pretty much everything that came out of that beef yesterday. I just wanted to show you a shot of it. It pretty well fills that cooler up. I think that's a 42 cubic foot cooler is what it is. And then I'll spin you around. There is the bones that are left. I'm probably gonna take those, cut them up into smaller pieces and feed the dogs with it. They really like that. I've got plenty of bone broth right now. I'm not gonna take the time to do any bone broth with it. Like I said, I've got tons left over from the last beef we did. But let me pull some stuff out and then we'll start cutting. All right, I've got this is a beef tenderloin. The filet mignon, whatever you want to call it. But that's off this beef. It's been sitting in the cooler overnight, so it's firmed up a little bit. We're just gonna cut this in probably 2-inch steaks. And then the little tail, once it starts getting a small tail, we'll just cut it and maybe wrap it to do a smaller steak with it. I'm using this is a 8-inch Victorinox breaking knife. And I'm not super worried. I don't care about the Kroger cuts and, you know, the nice pretty steaks that you get in there. A steak that's not perfectly squared up and everything like that is going to eat just the same as your fancy steak. So you'll see a lot of the guys trim that tenderloin off square and everything else, and they throw it in the grind. We're cutting farm steaks, and it really doesn't matter to me if it's squared off or not. So that is one of the beef tenderloin, a fillet. Same thing with this one. I'm not going to worry about squaring it up and making it super pretty. There. That's a pretty nice fillet right there. All right, I've got our tenderloins cut up there. This is part of your loin where your ribeye comes from. So we're gonna start cutting it. We're gonna cut these probably 1.5 inches thick, something like that. Nice home raised ribeye. It's not got a huge fat cap or anything on it. This cow was pretty much grass and hay fed, and we ended up not finishing her on grain like a lot of people will. So she's not going to have a ton of fat, but she was a younger cow. She was she was a little over a year old, so that's why her weight was down a little bit, but she was a fine age and fine size for us to butcher here at our place. I'll get this ribeye cut up and then get the other ribeye cut up, and I'll lay these out and then let you get a look at those. All right, guys, there's a shot of your ribeyes. That's what we got off that cow yesterday. That's all your ribeyes. We've got, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 23 ribeyes, and you can see the thickness on those, inch and a quarter. They vary just a little bit, but that's a nice, pretty well grain-fed beef right there. Now I'm gonna get these in buffet trays, get it back in the cooler to get cooled back down. They're still, I mean, I've only had this out maybe 5 minutes, if that. So we'll get it back in the cooler, let them stay cool, and then I want to get some more stuff out and start cutting it. And then in a little while, I'm going to start packaging stuff. Hey guys, it's Jason. We have got all of our we're grinding, doing our second grind on a ground beef. I didn't record any of the first grind. Usually what we do is take and grind everything and do a coarse grind. And you can see that's your coarse grind there. Run it all through. It does a little bit better if you do a coarse grind first and then come back and do a second finer grind. The fat content is great in this. You can see the fat content in this burger. So I'm working on the first pan of our second grind. So I'm going to let it'll be loud. You're only going to be able to hear the grinder, but I'll just grind for a minute or so and let you watch the process. All right, that's kind of the process of grinding. I mean, it takes just a few minutes, but this heifer calf, she had a decent amount of fat on her. I'm gonna say this is probably an 80-20, something like that. I have no idea how to figure that. Honestly, it looks good. I mean, it's got a good amount of fat in it. So I'm gonna call this an 80-20. If somebody knows an easy way to figure that, let me know in the comments. Some of you might ask, this is a Cabela's grinder. It's their carnivore commercial series. Let me see what size. This is the half horsepower model for it. I'm gonna shut the video down. We're gonna keep grinding. As soon as I get everything ground, at the end of the video, I'll have weights on everything, and then we can kind of figure out the yield that we got on it. Hey guys, it's Jason. I just now got everything from that cow that we did Saturday. Got everything ground, cut up, processed, and is in food saver bags. Part of it's still in the refrigerator. I didn't want to overload the freezer with stuff. So most of it, I'd say 3/4 of it is in the freezer right now freezing, and I've got just a little bit left to put in the freezer. I'll probably put it in tomorrow morning. But here's the breakdown on what we got of everything. Your ribeyes and fillets, we got 20.5 pounds for ribeyes and fillets. Our tri-tip, skirt steak, and taco meat is what I'm calling it, 18.5 pounds. Stew meat, 70.2 pounds. Strips and sirloin steaks, 16.2 pounds. Our roast were 20.4 pounds. Brisket, 15 pounds. Short ribs, 20 pounds of short ribs. Our grind, we ended up with 103.2 pounds. Our shanks, 25 pounds for our full shanks. That comes out to 309 pounds is what we wound up with of finished packaged meat off this cow that we did on Saturday. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but usually your live weight compared to packaged stuff of what you get is about 36 to 40%. So we're right in there, that 36 to 40% range. people see, you know, a 1,200 pound animal and then you only wind up with, you know, 400 to 500 pounds of meat. And they're like, what in the world? How does that math work? But if you look at it, that's what you get. I mean, there's a lot. I've got a huge pile of bones. We still got a bunch of cut off stuff that I'm going to use to feed the dogs. I'm going to feed the dogs the bones also. They will crunch those. Like I said, I'm not going to make bone broth. I've got plenty of beef bone broth right now. I would rather use the bones and what meat's left on the bones to feed the dogs. It's more economical for me to do that than to make bone broth with it. But we wound up packed the freezer with this. I'm happy. And all of this, all of our meat that we put in the freezer was boneless meat, except for the shanks. We left the bone in the shank. I'm taking that to one of my friends that's hooked me up with some things, and he's going to do beef shanks and cook those. But everything was boneless except for the short ribs. So if we would have cut, you know, like bone-in ribeyes, bone-in T-bones, or porterhouses, that weight would have been a little bit higher just because you got the bone in there. So you're not gaining any more meat per se. You're just gaining more package weight. So I hope you've liked this. If you got any questions, drop them in the comments. I like to hear the questions and comments and stuff. Like and share. And I appreciate you watching. Y'all have a good night.